Okie dokie, artichokes. It's about time I give you an explanation for everything, especially for the 10 or so people who frequently view my videos. I owe it to you guys because you've been watching the gear shift from Meta Knight to Brake Fluid to Military Outpost. I'm all over the place, and the very little context I provided doesn't help clear anything up. So, here it is, context. But just a quick recap for those that are new, I'm making an indie show animated in Blender loosely based off of Kirby, starring Meta Knight as the main character. Anyways, the way I'm going to explain this without coming off as a whack job or spoiling the entire plot is first telling y'all a little bit about myself, so you can get a feel of what to expect from me. Like most people, when making something, I incorporate things I like into it. So, here are some franchises that I like. Notice how Kirby isn't up here. It doesn't even make the top 20. Instead, we get things like Warhammer, Helldivers, Doom, Star Wars, and Mario Kart. Notice the pattern? All these franchises have to do with war. And my indie show, Soldier of the Stars, also focuses on a war taking place in a grimdark setting where I utilize the shock factor of, hey, look, that's a cute little guy.
What the f is that?
Which, if you've ever played any Kirby games, you know this contrast is present where you have a cute little cheeky piece of gum fighting eldritch horrors that don't usually fit in with the cheery setting. Point is, my interests align with grimdark sci-fi compared to whatever Kirby's got going on, and you're going to see that directly reflected in my work. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I can crack open a little bit of the plot so I can give you guys some actual context. Here we go. So, introducing the Star Warriors, an alien species who occupy some faraway dwarf galaxy. These round little fellows are warriors who live for multiple millennia, and their society is a stratocracy that goes around getting paid by other species to protect trade routes and the like. Now enter Nightmare. This guy is super evil. He wants to rule the universe, and he goes around taking over planets to gather organic material that he recycles into horrid creatures that he integrates into his army. The Star Warriors have been at war with this guy for a hot minute, and they've been at a stalemate for a really long time. So each side goes off trying to find powerful ancient artifacts that could potentially give them the upper hand and break the stalemate in their favor. Now, where does Kirby fit into all this? He doesn't. He's not here. The more characters I use from Nintendo franchises, the more likely I'll get a cease and desist, and it's already pretty risky to be using Meta Knight and Nightmare, but worry not. There is a character who acts kind of like his placeholder, and I genuinely think that she is one of the most adorable characters I've ever made. Her name's Tachyon, and she serves as Meta Knight's apprentice? Apprentice? Yeah, okay, there it is. But anyways, I can't really say much about the events surrounding these two because then I'll start spoiling stuff, but I can tell you that the plot is going to be dealing with how Meta Knight handles getting this random child dumped on him by the government. Anyways, that's all I got for you at the moment. More will be revealed later, especially when I get to making more character models.